A shocking new poll says that nearly half of Bernie Sanders supporters will not vote for Hillary Clinton in November. Or does it? Well, it's just one poll, and it says that they don't support Hillary Clinton, but some of them might vote for her in spite of the fact that they don't support her. We've been going back and forth in our discussion about whether Bernie Sanders voters will, in large numbers, not vote for Hillary Clinton in November. Will they vote for Donald Trump? Will they vote for someone else? Will they stay home altogether and not vote for anybody? And we have a new poll from Bloomberg Politics, which found that only about 55% of Bernie Sanders supporters actually plan to vote for Hillary Clinton. 22% of Bernie Sanders supporters say that they will vote for Donald Trump. And 18% say they favor libertarian Gary Johnson. Now, if you're a Sanders supporter, what do you like about Gary Johnson? I actually don't understand that. He's against Gary Johnson in so many areas. Yes, they're both sort of socially tolerant, was the word Gary Johnson used to describe his social views on a recent CNN libertarian town hall. But there is not that much overlap. And some people wrote to me and said, David, when you look at Gary Johnson, he has 73% agreement with Bernie Sanders on one of those political quizzes, figure out who you agree with thing. I hate to break it to you, but 73% is not that much. Even Hillary Clinton, who is considered drastically more conservative than Bernie Sanders by many of his supporters, has 90+% agreement with Bernie Sanders. So I think, Lewis, when people look and say, well, look, 73% overlap between Gary Johnson, the libertarian, and Bernie Sanders, that's actually quite low. And I don't believe for a second that 18% of Sanders supporters are going to vote Johnson.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, the problem with those polls or surveys or whatever, they're really not that nuanced, and they just cover issues very broadly, and yeah, the numbers here are just a little funny. So I don't think I don't think we should rely too much on this.
Every indication, also, every expectation is that at the Democratic National Convention, at some point in that process, we are going to hear from Bernie Sanders that indeed not electing Donald Trump needs to be the top priority. And it will be some kind of an endorsement of Hillary Clinton. Will it be a total ringing endorsement of her entire platform? No, probably not. And we're going to be releasing a video soon explaining why it would not make any sense for Bernie voters to vote Trump or Gary Johnson, nor to stay home. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I just don't buy that anywhere near this number of Bernie supporters are going to vote Trump or not vote for Hillary Clinton if they vote. The stay home factor is a concern. And I'll remind you, 8 years ago, 50% of Hillary Clinton's primary supporters said, I'm not going to vote for the now President Barack Obama when he secured the nomination in 2008. And of course, most of them did, Lewis. That's one thing. These polls often show more sort of resentment towards the eventual party nominee if you didn't vote for them. And there's another poll saying it's only 22% of Bernie supporters that won't vote for Hillary. So we'll talk more about this, but I am not that concerned with these numbers right now.
No. But the stay-at-home factor maybe, but Donald Trump still has plenty of time to convince these people that they need to go out and vote against him.
Rachel, you want to add something on this?
I think all of the people who are saying that they're going to vote for Johnson are kind of just defaulting. It's like as if you got a package of Starburst and you say, okay, I'm just going to pick the yellow one because nothing else is left.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, if they are that determined or hostile to Hillary Clinton, it's certainly more believable that they would vote for Johnson than Trump. But I just don't believe for a second that 1 in 5 Bernie supporters is voting for the libertarian candidate who believes that prisons flat out should be privatized and there should be no minimum wage. I just don't see that happening.